All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, joined in studio by Randy Angston. What's up, man?
Are you excited for the weekend?
Yeah, we both have Iron Circle shirts.
I know.
On.
It's just
two different ones.
The same thing.
You know what's funny is we gave those out to grow, so I didn't get one. There's the double X's went away.
Should be here.
No, they just have any more double X.
What?
Bunch of big guys.
I know a guy.
Bunch of big guys getting shirts. All right, guys, we're going to continue on with our series about the 5 myths that keep gym owners stuck below the $30,000 a month mark. And to kind of recap on why we're doing this is we've definitely found over the years there's a line in the sand between the gyms that are under $30,000 a month, and again, recurring revenue. This isn't a 1 month, it's 40, then it's 20. It's just like kind of like standard under 30, and those that are standard over 30. And it really comes down to survival versus growth.
Sure.
Survival versus scale. Survival versus, under 30, you're surviving. Mm-hmm. There's just not enough, cookie crumbs left once you start paying all of your bills, and there's just crumbs left. And what we're trying to do for you gym owners is to make sure that you have enough cookies to serve your family, yourself, your lifestyle, growth, in retirement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You spend, 10, 15, 20, 30 years sometimes doing this. And if you don't make enough money, then
you're just getting by.
you just kind of wasted your time. I don't know. Hey, Tim, I'm not in it for the money. Like, I've heard that before.
Lots. Oh, yeah.
And that's totally fine until you have to pay your bills, until you have a family emergency, until you have a roof leak or something you got to repair and you don't have the money. You need the money. Money makes the world go round. So money's not a bad thing. You don't have to do it for the money, but you should be making money in this business. So anyways, we just want to, kind of, I don't know, toot that horn or beat that drum or whatever you want to call it, because we need to make this a thing in this industry. We need to shun the status quo, which is very, this is part of our motto at Iron Circle, is that we are unsatisfied with what is the normal. And what is the normal in this fitness industry for micro gyms is this under 30, in fact, even under 25-ish.
Right around there, yeah.
Per month in revenue. And I'm telling you, that's not enough.
Well, and one stat that I had that I spoke to at the Growth Summit, $25,000 in recurring revenue on average leads to about $48,000 a year for the owner of the salary.
Okay. And
so that I think is an important thing as we talk about the lifestyle and what you as an owner want for your family and why you're doing this, And if $48,000 is it for you, you know what I mean? Is that enough to pay for the lifestyle, to have some reserves, to be able to, weather the storm, quite literally sometimes?
I don't know. I don't know where you have to live that $48,000 before taxes, is going to be enough. Let's just say $48,000 before taxes. After taxes, let's just do some math. Let's take off, 15 grand, whatever. Do the math. 15 grand. So 33,000. You have 33,000. Rent at 3,000. You're already at 36. Like, how do you eat? How do
you're forced to a 2-income household, or you're working a full-time job outside of your gym,
or you have a roommate or whatever, and you're a single guy and you're just eating ramen and stuff like that. It's all good when you're young and you're growing and you're putting the time in. But what I'm saying is that 10, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you're going to be hoping that these myths don't derail that journey. So let's get into myth number 3, which says, hey, I'm the owner. I've got to do everything myself, or I do it the best. So I have to do it.
Or my clients are here to see me.
That's another one.
That's just as big.
That's actually probably the biggest one. Let's, for example, in a gym, somebody needs to do it. Okay. Yep. So we have to realize that this isn't something that you can automate without a human being, right? Somebody's got to train the clients. Somebody's got to mop the floors. Somebody's got to take the trash out. Somebody's got to make the sales calls and, you know, all the things. There's human beings that, well, I guess you could automate that last one. But like there's a human being there, especially when it comes to if you're running a training gym, you have to have a coach on the training floor. And that's the delivery of your service. And let's just say the gym owner is the one training the clients all day. Well, who's going to work on the business if you're servicing all of the clients? You got in this business most likely because you enjoy training. Mm-hmm. Most likely, right? Hey, I enjoy training. I'm great at it. I need to go train clients, and you were good at that. And somewhere along the way, you thought maybe the next step was opening a gym. So your habits are all based around the training floor. But unfortunately, all of the other things are what drive the business forward. I mean, you have to, like, that's the foundation. That's your hotel that has beds. You have to have training, right? And it should be the best experience. But the owners, you shouldn't have to be the one training clients all day.
You nailed it. Shouldn't have to be. When we worked with Mike Michalowicz, he led one of our experiences. The first thing that he said was, as a business owner, your job is job creation, not fulfillment. And that, to me, that resonated ever since. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, I talk to gym owners every single day that are 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the business that are still on the training floor because not only, I mean, it's one thing if you enjoy it, but they haven't created a way out of having to do it. And that's the thing, right? Like you said, the choice should be there. If you decide to work with a few clients or, you know, you have a couple hours a week or something, by all means. I mean, nobody's here to tell you shouldn't be doing what you enjoy. But if you build a business that's centric, you know, you're the hub of, and you can't delegate that to a coach or somebody else to do those different tasks in the business, you're always going to be the one in fulfillment, working in the business. And to your point, nobody's driving the ship. You know, what if you leave the opportunity for growth and you leave the opportunity for working on the business to whatever's left, it's going to be the lowest thing on the totem pole, right? It's the lowest priority, and your growth is going to be probably, you know, completely dependent upon the time and energy that you have left. And
Correct.
It should be the inverse of that, in my opinion.
So a lot of times the gym owner does the training because there's no money left to pay a coach. I would argue that in order for you to make this work, you have to pay yourself as a trainer when you're training and as an owner all the other times. So in order for you to be able to replace yourself, you have to have paid yourself to begin with.
Correct.
So that when you pull yourself out, the money's still there to pay the next guy or girl, right? So if you're not paying yourself and you're training all day, you're really like, you got a double whammy, because now you'll never get out. The path will never be there. So you have to, even if it's a half of what you would normally pay a regular coach, you've got to start somewhere. You got to start paying yourself for those training hours so that eventually you start paying yourself what you could equalize a coach for, and then swap it out.
Yeah.
So that's really the key to this whole thing, is you got to pay yourself for those training hours so that when the time comes and you do find a coach, you can swap out of that. So,
yeah. And I think that the myth, or, you know, speaking to this as a myth, the biggest thing is money is a tool. It does allow you the opportunity to pay somebody else to do that work, right? It's leverage in a business for a business owner to then be able to work on the business. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, it happens because when you buy that time back and you put a coach in that role, it's not like you're now sitting on the couch collecting paychecks, or you kick your feet up and you just hit coast. You know what I mean? Like, the goal is to then take that time that you've bought back and apply it to other income producing activities, other areas that you can be spending your time.
Perfect.
That's going to accelerate the growth of that business. And then that's really where, like, the tipping point comes into play, right? Now you have that time dedicated to the growth and the scalability of the business. And if you fill that time with the things that create growth, your business will continue to grow. So you've prioritized it.
Yes, exactly. So if both jobs have to be done, the growth job and the delivery job, right? If we're saying that is true. If you're going to grow your business, you need to have somebody focus 100% or at least 80% of the time on growth activities, marketing channels, outreach, closing deals, upselling, referral, it's all the things, guys. I mean, we can go all down. But if you don't have anybody there and you're training all day over here, if you're going to not leave the training floor, you need to find somebody that's going to be over here in that role. The roles have to be filled. The jobs have to be done. And again, to your very, very first point was if you only allow what's left of your time to go towards the growth, you're going to stay stuck forever. Mm-hmm. It's just we've defined both roles need to be filled or both roles need to be done. Can it be the same person? Yeah, 50% each, right?
Sure.
Or 80 on the delivery and whatever's left on the growth. So if you ever want to get out of this role, I think the two main things, you don't have to do it all yourself, is the whole key to this. Move yourself into the growth role, replace what you should have been paying yourself over there with a coach, focus 100% on growth so that you can pay more for coaches and get more coaches, and then even replace yourself in the growth thing and move up to the next step.
True business owner, right?
You do not have to do everything yourself. You shouldn't be doing everything. In fact, if you do everything yourself, you're going to stay stuck. That's really the thing.
And I think it's a limiting belief, right? I think that the problem most gym owners experience is when they do bring in, or if they want to bring in a coach and things like that, they don't know what to do with that coach. Like the task changes. What you're delivering for the business. Yes, you're working on the growth components now, but then you have to become the leader. And you have to coach them up. You have to make them better at their job. If you're really great at training and you bring in a coach, that coach should be replicating what you bring to the table. Coach them up on that difference, right? If you have a limiting belief that the clients are only going to work out with you, it's because you've created that. It's not because that's a fact, right? And we've seen it time and time again. When a gym owner embraces that mindset and that understanding, brings in that person, it's so funny how the clients, they just don't care that much, right? Like as long as the quality of the coach is there and you're actively coaching them up to that role, it's not a matter of who's doing the work. And one of our big ethos is that the brand owns the programming, the brand owns the client experience, the coach is the one fulfilling on it. And if you as the owner is dictating what that client experience looks like, it's still your responsibility. You're just not the one on the floor doing the workout.
Yeah, one of the best ways to make sure that the handoff and the transition goes well for the new coach is when you do hand that client off, because you do have the relationship with the client, right? Sure. You've been training them since, for 5 years or whatever. And it's difficult for that client to sometimes accept.
Or trust,
right? So you just tell Mrs. Johnson, listen, Mrs. Johnson, it's time for little Joey to take over, but I do want you to know that I'm going to be here watching over everything. You're in good hands. I've trained him myself. This guy, I would let, even say this, I would trust little Joey to train my own mom. Right. And if you say all those things, I'll still be here. I'm overseeing. I trained him. I trust him. Then the transition is going to be fine.
You have to edify the coach that's coming in. You have to kind of appoint them, right, as like the next to take over.
That's really the key to this
big
whole thing.
Time.
So listen, gym owners, that's definitely a myth. You do not have to do everything yourself. In fact, if you do everything yourself, that is the reason you're going to be stuck under 30,000. Hopefully that helps you guys. Go back and listen to the first two, and then we have two more coming your way. That's it for this episode. Until next time, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye. All right, thanks for listening to another episode of the Built to Grow podcast. If you want more help growing your business, join our free Facebook group, Profit Accelerator, helping training gyms grow to $30,000 a month and beyond. We'd love to see you there. Go check out the show notes for the link and keep building something great, and we'll see you in the next episode.